Hello, everyone. Welcome to another awesome episode of the Dream Design Podcast with yours truly. I'm Amy Lee Westervelt, and I'm actually going to speak into my microphone instead of from across the room because that would make more sense. But I am so excited to be here today with my guest for the very beginning of the last month of what some people are calling the year they wish they will never remember. And some people had a really great year, right? Some people thought that 2021 was amazing. I was one of them, but I also believe that you create your own reality. So that being said, I will be back in just a minute with the incredible Ana Patricia Bourgeois. She is amazing. She's a business coach, and she specializes in helping you build your personal brand from a place of expertise, but also integrity. She is going to share all her tips with us and tell us about how she got started. So sit tight. I'll be right back with Ana Patricia. You're listening to the Design Your Dreams podcast with Amy Lee, the show that challenges you to stop chasing your dreams and start designing them. Each week, I invite powerhouse creators who have built their dream businesses to come and share their words of wisdom and stories of courage. It is my hope that through the journeys of these incredible dream builders, you too will be inspired to design and build a life and business beyond your wildest dreams. Well, here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Ana Patricia is joining us. She's amazing. And I can't wait to get started on this conversation. So first of all, if you guys are watching us out there in YouTube land, if you're watching us on my business page, on either one of my business pages, or if you're watching us in the the Dream Building Entrepreneurs Group, come say hi. Let us know that you're here live. And for those of you who are listening on the replay to the podcast later on, feel free to like and subscribe and review and do all the things that you do to let someone know that you love their podcast. And with that, welcome, Ana. So glad to have you here, love.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. And oh my gosh, your intro video, oh my gosh, I love it so much.
Isn't that amazing? I have to say, I have a really great hookup on Fiverr. If you need her, she's amazing. I think she might be in Pakistan, but she does incredible work and I'm obsessed with it. So let me know if you need it because it wasn't that expensive. But that being said, hello. And hello. Sheila's joining us. Welcome. Aloha, Sheila. So tell us a little bit. You know, you're a business coach now, but I'm willing to bet that isn't where you started, right? You didn't come out of school and say, I'm going to be a business coach. So tell us a little bit about your journey and kind of how did you get where you are today?
Yeah. So do you want the long story or the short story?
I mean, I want the story that's going to inspire my listeners. Yeah. So you figure out which one that is.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So it pretty much started when I was, 15 years old. My parents got divorced and my father left, and I was really left with all these responsibilities. I was working 2 jobs, going to school full time. I was, helping my mom with responsibilities and bills and mortgages and stuff. I was really young to, I grew up so fast, basically, with all these responsibilities. And I saw my mom, in that 9 to 5 and struggling to make ends meet. And it was always this struggle. And I just remember, promising to myself that I would find a better way and that I knew there was a better way of doing things. And I just didn't know what that would look like yet. I just knew it was available to me. So I still went to school, got my degree in communications. I went to university, and then I did an internship in a digital marketing agency. And I learned all the ropes, the behind the scenes, the client work, the social media, the copy, everything. And I really love that world. So I decided to become my own boss, start my own agency. I had quite a few clients. I enjoyed the work, but I realized that I really loved the one-on-one, work with my clients, answering any questions, them having those breakthroughs, those results. And I was like, how can I help people on a deeper way? And I just went online one day and I found this coaching school and I'm like, ooh, what's that? And I just read their page and I was like, it really spoke to me. I had no clue the coaching world existed. And that was back in 2019 that I got certified as a coach. And then since then, I've pivoted niches a few times. I truly found my way back to my love of social media and organic personal branding and visibility. And it was just like this natural match to choose to be a business coach moving forward.
And, I really love that you said that, right? Niche hopping is something that we do so much as coaches, because here's the thing, like intuitively know we want to help people, but finding that sweet spot between our zone of genius and our zone of excellence is kind of like, it's a little bit of a crapshoot, and it takes some guesswork. So a lot of times clients will come to me and be like, I think I'm this kind of coach, but maybe I'm that kind of coach. And I'm just kind of like, it doesn't really matter what you call yourself.
Yeah.
What matters is what is the transformation you're providing. You can always niche down later. Like I started as a manifestation coach, and then I was like, no, I'm a manifestation coach for empaths and highly sensitives. And then I was like, no, wait a second. I'm not any of those things. I'm the dream design coach.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one that stuck, right? That was the one that was like, okay, now I can go get a tattoo in my face that says I am the dream design coach. But until that point, you're kind of still finessing what it is that you actually do. So I love that you shared that, because a lot of people are like, no, I always knew what I was. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because we were all there back then when you were all these other things. And we all know the truth. We all see. You may delete it off your Instagram, but we were there and we know. Exactly. So anyway, I just wanted to share that piece because that's so true. And guys, if you're joining us out there live, come say hi. Let us know where you're joining from. Give Anna all of the love. She's here. She's amazing. Her energy is fire. So you started your business coaching, and what were some deal breakers that you had as you came into your new business? What were things that you were like, well, now that I'm doing this, this is not going to happen? And then what were some like have to haves? Like when I'm in this new business that I'm creating, it has to have, this component to it. Tell me about that a little bit.
So I think for me, like the biggest deal breaker was to just go all in. And that seems like obvious, but like when you're like juggling like 9-to-5s, or like you're still like in both worlds, it's like very hard to like give all your attention and focus and commitment to your business. So I feel like as soon as I like ripped that Band-Aid off and like just let go of that 9-to-5 and I truly focused, like that's when things really started happening for real. Yeah. And like 3 months later, I had my first 10K months. And it's like you just take things much more seriously. Yeah. I feel, and like you have that fire under you to just go for it and show up 10 times more and do the thing and own it and have those conversations and meet new people. So I feel like that was a huge like extra, motivation to get it done and to have fun doing it. That's the other thing. I feel like it's so easy to just always go, do. Like I've always been that way as well. So it's like, no, like I've created this to have fun and enjoy it and find a way that really speaks to me and show up in a way that lights me up. So that's really important as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be something that lights you up, because when it doesn't, then it just ends up being draining, right? And then that's not any good to anybody, because people don't want a coach that feels like they're pulling teeth to coach them. That's the worst. Absolutely. So tell me a little bit, you mentioned that, or we mentioned that you specialize in building your personal brand. And so let me ask you, why is it important to have a personal brand? Like I know a lot of people don't necessarily have this. I meet with a lot of clients and I'm like, okay, so what's your branding? And they really don't understand what that is, as opposed to like a logo, right? So can you tell us a little bit about the difference between like, say, a logo and colors and like what a personal brand really is?
So a personal brand, all it is an extension of you. So to have a kick-ass personal brand is to know exactly who you are, where you're going, who you're helping, why you're doing, what your mission is. And I feel like we confuse way too often, the logos, the fonts, the colors. Like, yes, it's important eventually as we grow and as we consider maybe creating a website and all of that. But personal branding on social media is something that I think is so, so important, because people will look you up online before even hiring you or considering working with you. So having that presence and owning that presence and not being afraid to speak up and own all your gifts and what you do is so important, because energy and connection, it's the fire that lights up that connection in particular. So it's like seeing that and relating to it and connecting to it. It's gonna like really tell people, okay, I want to connect with that person or not. Like they can truly make that decision in a matter of seconds when they go on your profile. So yeah, it's very important to have one, to nurture it, to enjoy sharing. That's the other thing. It's like, yes, like if you look at it as another thing I have to do, I have to post again, I have to show up again, it's not gonna be fun. But if you see it as I'm documenting my journey, I'm sharing what I'm going through, I'm deepening my relationships, it's a whole other thing for sure.
Completely. So tell me, what's your favorite part of your personal brand?
Ooh, well, I'm big on video. So I love like creating reels or going live or going in my stories and sharing like a quick story or a realization or something a client said to me. I'm always thinking about what can I share that is going to help that person, have a shift or take a step further in towards their goals. So it's like, yes, sharing all of me, all the facets of me, but also thinking about that client in mind and what would they like to hear today to take that next step.
So powerful. So powerful. What do you think are some missteps that people make when it comes to building their personal brand? What are some mistakes that you see people make consistently?
So I think the biggest one is getting in your head too much and overthinking everything, or thinking that you need to look a certain way or speak a certain way, or that you need to be professional, or like we put all these barriers and all these things on us that are just not true. Like you get to be you, basically. You get to be all of you, show up as you, and like you are the one deciding what that looks like and how much you want to share. So don't hold yourself back. Like, what do you truly want to say? Like I know it's scary to be vulnerable and share the deep things and things that are not easy to share, but these are the things people want to hear. These are the things people want to learn from. And when we have all these limiting beliefs, oh my gosh, like what are they going to think about me? They're going to judge me. It really prevents us from truly saying what we want to say. So don't be afraid to be unapologetic and saying the things that you believe in.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And by the way, if anybody's watching out there in the audience and you have questions for Ana, feel free to pop them into the chat here. We do have some links for you if you want to go follow her, and of course you do, right? Here's her Instagram. I'm over here singing that song on Reels, like, this is my age, this is my sign. I'm like, this is her Instagram. Go follow her. So this is her Instagram. And so this is a great place to catch her. You will notice that last week I was actually on her podcast, so you may recognize me from one of the pictures there. But yeah, she's amazing, and she has so much to offer as far as being a business coach and supporting, and also just being out there, right? Like there are so many people that are afraid to put themselves out there, to be vulnerable, to really share who they are. Because the thing is, and this is something people don't understand, is people don't buy what you do. And yes, they buy why you do it, right? Like Simon Sinek says, but they buy how you feel.
Yes.
They buy how you feel. So the more that you can embody the person that you want to be, the more that your ideal audience is going to go, I want what she has.
Yes.
I want to work with her, right? It has a lot less to do with your programs and a lot more to do with how you present yourself. And that's where your personal brand comes in, because someone like Ana, who's out there making reels, talking about the real reels, right? Like the things that are actually going on in her life.
Yes.
Those are the things that are going to attract her ideal audience. And like, look at me, I can't even not coach on a podcast. Like, hello, this is supposed to be about you. I'm sorry. I see so many teachable moments here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, guys, look at this. This is a perfect example of someone who's putting herself out there so authentically and totally crushing it. So my next question, let's talk mindset. So when you first started this, you mentioned that, the mindset is kind of something that you get stuck in, right? Like getting in your head too much. Tell me a little bit about how your mindset has evolved from when you first started and you're like, I'm going to be a business coach, that, uninformed optimism, to kind of where it went, on the way, and then kind of where you landed. I'd love to hear that.
Oh my gosh, that's such a great question. For example, like with live streams, right? The first time I went live, oh my gosh, it was nerve-wracking. Like my palms were sweating, my heart was gonna like come out of my chest. It was so stressful because you're not used to it. You're not used to doing those things when you first start. So it seems so huge and so intimidating. And I mean, the first time that I just said, you know what, I'm just going to share from the heart. I'm just going to go live, share my story of how I was 15 years old. I was struggling. It was a hard time. And I'm a very, connected to my emotions, and it just flew. Like the tears were there, and it was just inevitable. And the amount of reactions that I received from that live stream, I was just mind blown. Like it was the most viewed, most shared live stream I've ever done. And I was like, okay, people really crave that human like emotion because they're not used to seeing it online. Everyone has that facade of like, oh, I'm a millionaire, like I'm living in a unicorn and rainbow land. Yeah, exactly. It's so easy. Like, but I've always kept it real. Like since that day, since I realized that, I've always kept it real. And I always like, set the real things. Like I've had failed launches. I've had master classes where no one showed up. I've had crickets. I've had this is not an easy journey. Like I'm always saying it and I'm always keeping it real. And that's what people enjoy, I think, the most from me. It's the realness. They're not getting any BS, and they're not like, I'm not putting all these high expectations. We're all on different journeys, on different timelines. Some will take longer than others. Some it's faster. As long as you're like committed and all in, and you keep like having that support and investing in yourself and moving one feet in front of the other, I feel is like what's going to build that confidence, what's going to shift that mindset to, yeah, keep going, because you only fail when you give up. That's the other thing. Like failing is learning. Like the more you try and fail and learn and shift and pivot and try again, that's how you build even more and more and more. So just keep going.
Words to live by. Just keep going. But you bring up a good point too, because when it comes to doing this work, being a coach, like it or not, there's no way around it. You are your brand. And so when you are your brand, what ends up happening? Yeah, Christy's there with the mic drops. Christy Agostino, you guys, she is mic drop lady. Like literally anytime you say something that's worth writing on a Post-it note or putting on a t-shirt, that girl will pop it up for you. She's amazing. But when you are your personal brand, everything about you is out there, right? Like you're constantly weighing yourself against other coaches. You're constantly having to go within and look at, where am I not showing up? Where am I showing up too much? Where's my ego, taking over? Where am I making it about me? Where am I not making it about? And so you get into this like pattern where you're just constantly reinventing and recalibrating yourself, and you're doing it with an audience. It is not for the faint of heart. Like people think like, oh, these coaches are making so much money. Like, yes, and we are literally eviscerating ourselves on a daily basis in front of an audience. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is nothing that is more vulnerable than the work that we do. And being able to do that from a place of authenticity, it's kind of an art, right? Because when we start to get in our head, we get a little bit masky and we kind of put up a facade and we start doing things that aren't in alignment or what we think that this coach told us is a good idea to do to get to that next level. Mm-hmm. And then we lose that authenticity. We push away the ideal client. We bring in the not ideal client. And we kind of do this dance between who we're trying to show up as and who we genuinely are.
Mm-hmm.
And so having someone like you who's able to really help someone perfect their personal brand and really show up as their authentic self, it may take a couple minutes,
Yes.
but it avoids all of those, mismatched clients that really like, okay, so making it about me again, but this is a teachable moment, right? So in human design, I'm a 5-1, okay? And I am the most projected on profile in the entire system. People look at me and they see what they want to see. They see what they think I am. Now, what they don't realize is they actually see themselves and they think they see me, right? So I say all that to say that I have to work extra hard as a brand to make sure that I am authentically saying who I am and don't leave a lot of room for somebody to just assume. Like I have to be very literal in my brand, right? As opposed to somebody else who doesn't have that problem and gets to be a little bit more nuanced and a little bit more, kind of mystery. Like I can't really have a lot of mystery because then all of a sudden someone's going, well, this is what you said you were. No, this is what you thought I was, but this is not who I am.
Yeah.
Right. And Sheila says, that is the trap, being what others think is the right way to be and doesn't align with your own beliefs. Absolutely. And that's why it's so imperative that you have that guidance with someone who helps you build your personal brand, who says, I know you think that's you, but I'm kind of noticing that you worked with so-and-so coach, and that's a little bit more her. How can we take out the value of this, but bring it into your personal brand?
Yes.
Right?
I love it. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
So you have a group where you hang out with all these fantastic people, right?
Yeah, exactly. I show up live there every week. I give so much value. I answer questions. I think there's like up to 60 free trainings you can watch.
Wow.
Learn how to build your brand, get clients. It's a really great place and community to be in.
I've got another reels in my head. I'm like, do? Ow. Oh, never a dull moment with social media, right? And you have a podcast, right?
Yes, I interviewed you. I think it was last week. It was so awesome.
It was so good. It was like channel, like all of the mic drops. Christy listened to it. She already said that it was amazing. So
yes,
she's my indicator of whether something's awesome. Is that she's like, it was so good. That's how I know. She's amazing. Anything else you want to share with our listeners today? Anything else that they need to hear from you? Anything else you want to tell them about personal branding or about your mindset journey or about anything to do with building your dream business?
Oh my gosh, there's just so much I could say, to be honest. I feel like the biggest like takeaway from this is like truly understanding that you're so powerful. Like you're so like amazing. You have so much to share, so much to give. There's so much inside of you that you still haven't like unleashed. And I want to see more of that. People are ready to see all of you. And I want you and challenge you this week or today or tomorrow to go out there, share something you haven't shared yet, something that may scare you. I promise you, you're going to touch so many people. You're going to create so many great relationships. People are going to be in awe of your bravery and courage. They want to like follow you even more, learn more about what you do, maybe even hire you. Like you never know what might happen if you do take that chance, do take that leap and truly own it and unleash it. And yeah, like I want to see that from you. I cannot wait to hear from you. Like reach out, let me know how that went. Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm all about truly owning it, sharing it, unapologetically being yourself. That's the best thing ever.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? She has thrown down the challenge. Straight up challenge. OMG. My goodness. Anna, you are incredible. I am so in love with you and your message and all the darn things. I hope that you guys take her up on her offer to join her in all the places, be it her group. Follow her on Instagram. No song this time. Sorry, guys. That's a once an episode thing. And her podcast. She's amazing. She's epic. Love all the things she does. Yes, unapologetically be yourself, because you know what? Nobody else is coming around to come be you. You happen one time. You've got stuff to do. You've got dreams to build. Your dreams are your job. So get out there and inspire people. I freaking love that. Thank you so much for being here, Anna. You are incredible. And I can't wait for people to come and hang out with you and come back and tell me how they met you on my show and how amazing you were and how you changed their lives. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much again for this opportunity. You are incredible too. And I'm just so grateful, honestly, for you and for these communities that we're building together. Like, it's never about competition. It's always about collaboration. And I love that so much.
As do I, gorgeous friend, as do I. Thank you so much for being here. That'll do it for this week's episode of the Dream Design Podcast. Until next time, when we have another fabulous guest, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, and may you be at peace. Namaste.